Good evening. This is the October 10th, 2013 meeting of the City of Athens Shade Tree Commission, and we have a brief agenda this evening. Let's see, we have a quorum, and we can launch ourselves. First item on the agenda is Title 33, Issues, Tree Permits, Rights of Way, and there are none, I believe. Thank you, Ron. And then item 2, Title 37, Landscape Ordinance Issues. Neither are there any of those. So we are going directly to a report by Ron Lucas, the Assistant City Safety Service Director. Coffee is a long ways away, I'm sorry to say. So Ron, you have a report about Arbor Day and fall planting.
Yeah, I do. Thanks, Albie. The first thing that I'd like to talk about is our Arbor Day celebration, and we have that scheduled for Friday, October 18th. I wanted to do it this coming Friday, but homecoming weekend just offered too many challenges.
Yes.
So we bumped it 1 week later. It is going to be held at the intersection of Elmwood and Watt, and I've coordinated attendance from East Elementary School, Theta Chi fraternity to sponsor, and put out information to the media to try to get some of the Athens community there to be in attendance to watch. But what happened there is there were 2 golden locust trees that were seriously declining. I had my eyes on them for about 4 months, and they were getting to the point where they were dropping branches, and I felt it was a safety hazard, and the service safety director supported me on that. So we took those trees down. It caused a pretty good stir in the Near East Side community, particularly on Elmwood. So I thought as a good gesture would be to replant there and have our Arbor Day observance there, because I have no interest in destroying our canopy. It's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to have it, 1 o'clock Friday, October 18th. It'll be about an hour ceremony.
Okay.
If anybody can attend. I got the email from you today about everyone's status for next Friday. So
Yes, and we do have a possibility of students, OU students. Jared said that's not yet been put in motion, but
I'll at least send out an email with the time and the place, and maybe we can get a plant biology student to come in there and help out.
Great.
Give it a shot.
What I would like to do would be, I've coordinated with Mason Chambers from Five Springs Farms Nursery. That's a mouthful. To plant 2 elm trees.
Oh, nice. Are they
Don't
Princeton
know exactly
elms?
what variety yet, but something that's disease resistant, of course. And then I'd like to have that planting go on with the elementary school students helping out. So we'll prep the holes and things like that beforehand. And then a brief mulching workshop. I don't think we can ever have too many of those.
Yeah.
There will be 4 trees within 20 feet, probably about 30 feet, that we can mulch, so we should be able to keep them busy and get their hands dirty. And then I would like to do a walking tour, and this is where I was thinking your offer would be helpful, Jared, in terms of some of the students walking and leading some of the kids and showing them different trees and IDs and approximate ages and just fun stuff about trees, especially for the kids. So
When did it start again?
it'll start at 1. We'll close the street at about noon, so if we get there early, I can talk to some people and try to organize some of the students to help out. And if we have time, maybe do a little bit of a tree pruning workshop. And maybe do some active pruning on some of those trees down there that have some low branches. So I'll have all the equipment, I'll have staff there, and we'll have a good time.
Very good.
The mayor will read a proclamation, and if anybody wants to speak on behalf of City Council or the Shade Tree Commission, you're more than welcome.
Yeah. Has the Near East Side Neighborhood Association been alerted by any chance? I'm not even...
I've talked to Lorraine McCosker.
That's probably, that does it.
And she wanted to organize neighborhood meeting to discuss tree species, but I haven't heard anything back from her. I talked to her yesterday, and that meeting has not occurred. The big concern from her standpoint is that the city does not have a long-term planting strategy, and she's right.
Yeah.
We don't. So I'd like to figure that out.
Yeah, that's a nice beginning. Yeah.
Which kind of is a nice transition to the next part of my report, is that I am working with Lorraine and her environmental studies class, and we are doing a pilot project for a tree inventory of the Near East Side neighborhood.
Oh, nice.
I have 5 students, and they all have the tools to do a tree inventory, which will include information such as tree species, height, canopy width, diameter, breast height, condition of the tree, and they are a pretty eager group. So I bound their limits of East State Street, Morris, and May. So if they can knock all that off in this semester, that would be excellent. And hopefully it'll be a sustainable project through Lorraine's class where we can target a different neighborhood each semester
Yeah.
in order to continue with our tree inventory. Another thing I'd like to gain from that is, well, 2 things. Planting sites and a planting plan, whether it be a 5-year or a 10-year, so that we have something in writing where we can consult when we do our fall planting.
Okay, that's really good. Yeah, I might, if you move, for the second semester, if she does it all, 2 semesters, it might be a nice thing to have the next inventory go to the west side,
Yes.
to balance things out, because the east side does get an awful lot of attention. And, yeah, Jared.
Yeah, I have a comment. So this 5 or 10-year plan, the idea is either there would be some type of quota each year, or the idea we wouldn't plant any more than, 30% of one species each year from a list. Is that kind of the idea that you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking at definitely incorporating some of that, but I'm looking at more of a, where are we going to plant this year? And I wouldn't necessarily bind it to a number, but maybe a where, and try to equalize around the city.
Oh, so when you meant that 5-year plan, which spots, not
Yes.
species? I was thinking
Yes.
species.
Well, but I think the species is really important.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
From
Okay.
Jared's research, we should be looking ahead to what species are going to survive better.
Or just biodiversity. I mean,
Absolutely.
More different things that we have than, who knows what's going to come down the, well, we kind of know what's going to come down the pipe, but.
We do.
My concern is I'm not sure I can get there with a class in one semester. After they do the ID and the planting sites, I think that we might get a general idea of a planting plan, but we might need to do some more studying in terms of what species we're going to plant. And when.
I mean, it seems to me this is the right step to find out what we have in the first place, and then with that, we can use to figure out a plan. Where are we lacking, I guess? I know this is a small area, but, it's a start. Yeah.
Yes. It's a small area, but there are a lot of trees there and a lot of history there.
Okay.
And we're losing a number of them there. So it would be nice to have a strategic plan for that area and then the whole city. So I'll provide those results to the tree commission at the end of the semester when I get them. So.
Back to the species, I think it's good to have an idea of which species we want to add, but I think we also should take into consideration the immediate surroundings and what species are already there. And if we're wanting to plant, say, more oak trees, don't plant them in the middle of a lot of other oak trees.
So, yeah, so this is going to be like a spatial analysis? So we're going to know, when they measure all that, we'll know exactly where the spot is, right?
Yes, we're viewing GPS coordinates on our GIS.
Okay. Very good, then we'll know.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that sounds really good. Yeah. Does anybody else have any comments? No? Ron, that's really nice.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good endeavor. I'm hoping it's a sustainable project,
Yeah.
meaning that we can just continue on with 3 or 4 students from Lorraine's class each semester. Regarding some of the projects we have going on right now, Columbus Road, you may have noticed the median strips. If you haven't seen them yet, it's worth the drive. There are concerns that the median strips are too compacted. What the material that's in those strips is topsoil. It's good topsoil. And it was compacted by track hose when it was spread. The intent is to till that, seed and straw it, and then plant it with trees. So we're not going to leave that compacted. The bricks and the concrete and the asphalt were all removed from that area where the median strips are. So it was basically just a subgrade soil that those median strips were built upon, and then the topsoil is put in there. We do not have our complete plan complete in terms of what we're going to do there, but if you look at the area, the two islands nearest the fire department and Dairy Queen, so North Lancaster and Spring, 3rd Street, that area, Sunset, yeah. There will be low shrubs and maybe some plantings of flowers or things like that if we have some of the community groups that want to take those islands. That's for site triangle purposes. We're not going to plant shade trees on the edges of those islands. As you continue north on Columbus Road, we'll get into our shade trees, where we'll plant columnar type trees, hopefully some evergreens, deciduous mix, really have a good biodiversity there. And I'll share the ideas that myself and Jessica Dine from Engineering and Public Works come up with you before we implement that project. $3,500 of that project is a grant, and it's from Keep America Beautiful, but it's a UPS grant, so we have to plant those trees with UPS workers as part of it. So essentially what we'll get is more trees because we won't be paying install fees. So we can get quite a few trees in there.
Ron, I have a question. So underneath that topsoil you said was subgrade. Is that fairly compacted?
Yeah, it is.
How deep is that topsoil?
18 inches, maybe more. I have to look at the plans.
All right.
It looked a little more than that.
It might be. It might be 24.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't much deeper than the depth of the curb.
No,
And that's about 18 inches or something.
our typical curb section is 18 inch, 12
Yeah,
inch
that-
deep, 6 inches high, but the
Right.
curb is higher than normal.
It
Oh, it
is.
is.
Yeah, yeah, so the exposed curb is 8 to 10, I believe. So we're looking at
So then it's,
20 inches or so.
okay.
But it's not compacted enough that those things will just kind of fill up with water.
Well, they did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
Okay.
they did, and we need to think about that
So
in our
just,
plan, yeah.
yeah. I don't know if when you till through it or somehow you can poke holes.
Yeah, the tilling plan, I haven't got too
Yeah.
far into, but we definitely want to loosen it deeper than the topsoil.
I could just see those things filling up and wet feet and all that.
I was wanting, and Greg saw it, it was the middle, was it the middle or the far one?
Yeah, the middle one.
The middle one had the water in it, and there's no drainage there, so we were thinking of a water tolerant planting there,
I'm sorry, a water what?
tolerant.
Okay, right.
I think once you put the trees in there, it'll kind of dry it out.
Yeah.
but- Okay.
And the seed and straw plan is we're probably going to we're going to seed it with a fescue and then probably crimp the straw in so that it sticks with the weather and the high-speed traffic that'll be going through there, blow the straw all over the place. We're going to probably crimp it all in. So hopefully we'll have grass established before the winter. I was going to transition into that. Oh, I know what it was. Asplund, you may have seen them around. They're on the south side of town now. They're actually in my neck of the woods on Longview currently. So they're doing their line clearance efforts. They're doing a great job of talking to homeowners and communicating what's going to happen, just as we had hoped for. So
Good.
I haven't received any phone complaints or email complaints from Southside residents at this time, and they've been working all summer.
That's an
That's
accomplishment.
good.
Yeah. The no-mow areas, the request for the no-mow areas, the one behind Walmart has been approved by the Service Safety Director. The Virginia Pine one off of the highway has not been at this time because she wants to talk to ODOT officials first to see if we can do that. There might be some right-of-way issues there with that. So we'll sign and mark the one behind Walmart as a no-mow.
Heck, very good.
That was all I had.
Are there any questions for Ron? Other things to add?
I have one question.
Jennifer.
I'm new to all this, so I may have lots of questions.
This is our new city council person, Jennifer
Thank
Cochran.
you. I received correspondence from a constituent with a question about a tree on North Lancaster near where the Columbus Road project is beginning, but just before you get to First Street, I believe. So I took a pass by the area. His question was about a locust tree, I believe. No, maybe it's a sycamore. But he wanted to know if it was in the city right-of-way because it appeared to be a nice tree, but it's sort of overtaken by brush and vines and I don't know what. It's on the left-hand side as you go up Lancaster. So just wanted to bring that to your attention and see, if we can determine if it is in the city right-of-way and maybe get some of that cleared away while folks are working up there. I mean, I know it's completely different kind of crews of people, street workers versus folks who are going to work on tree issues, but just to bring that.
Yeah, and that's where I was with that. We were going to look at that with our landscaping plan to see if it made sense to clear it out. Number one, we need to find out if it's in the right of way. We don't think it is because it's behind the parking lot, the city-owned parking lot. And that's the right of way line. So, but it's still possible that we can work something out and expose that tree.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
I did have one more.
Yes.
Fall planting, I'm going to need some assistance with that. If anybody wants to meet with me and think about sites that we want to plant trees and what type of trees, I'd like to get that together.
Do we have a tentative list somewhere for you to?
I think it's complete.
Dave, yeah.
The that we had, we had a 2-year list. We planted a lot of the high priority ones in 2011, and then 2012, the Shade Tree Commission recommended that we finish the list.
Okay.
So we did that.
Great.
Plus, we planted all the trees on Court Street,
Right.
which we'll have to replant a couple.
The ongoing saga there.
In that case, I have another particular tree question. I noticed the other day there's one down by the bike path close to the library turnoff that is duct taped, and so maybe that's one that might need to be replaced. Could be part of your fall planting.
I'll have to take a look at it.
Presumably, duct tape is not the best solution for tree health.
There are 2 trees in that sequence. It's the entry to the library that has 2 benches right at the river. And so as you move toward the wastewater treatment plant, there are 3 trees maybe that
Right.
are in poor condition, and one, you're right, with duct tape holding
Is that
on to loose
Conservancy
bark.
land? Is that Conservancy
I think
land?
that's OU.
It's
OU land?
OU land, you're
Yeah.
right. It's
They mow it.
I have contacts with.
And apparently
you know,
they duct tape
I
it.
can check with
No, this,
Susan.
No, somebody-
there's a lot of vandalism.
Okay.
No,
So-
that's
They
it's
rip
probably,
it down, and I bike there all the time, and it seems like
yeah,
a couple months.
yeah. It's either somebody thinking they're helpful or.
I've heard duct tape fixes everything, so.
I don't,
Except trees, it's right on it.
yes, civilization would fall without it, I think.
It has to be green duct tape.
Gray.
Oh, okay. Well, are there any other items?
Well, you had mentioned Court Street and some new plantings. I had a conversation with Brian Wharton, and he seemed to be unaware that there were trees that needed to go in front of the overhang, I guess. And I told him, no, there are 2 required, And my understanding is that your architect or somebody, included them on the plans and that you need to do that. So he told me he would do that. He might have already done it,
He
but
submitted a tree permit, yes.
did he already do it? Okay,
But he
because,
hasn't planted yet.
yeah, he wasn't going to cut the concrete out, the sidewalk out, until he had the trees ready to go in. He didn't want to cut them out. And I haven't talked to him since to see if the trees were available or if he was having, he had asked me what kind, and I said, you really need to talk with the city about that. I would assume something similar to what was going on already on the street, but that wasn't my strength to be able to talk about what kind of tree to put in there. So.
He chose red maple.
Okay.
It's a safe one.
Is that a safe one where there's likelihood of vandalism because the bark is rather easily damaged on the red maple?
I don't know what we can put in on Court Street that's going to counter that, especially the branch ripping.
Holly?
Yeah.
It's the branch ripping.
Honey locust, black locust.
Yeah, but the branch ripping is what gets me, and the branch will rip, and then it'll take a huge section of bark.
Right.
And that's what we seem to have trouble controlling. We can't get them aged enough to lift it high enough.
To get the canopy
Yeah.
up. Yeah, I know.
We talked about that tree guard, like we had one that we were going to move around. Was that going to happen?
Not yet.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if a tree guard is going to stop the branch pulling. I don't know.
Columbus
I
had a
can
problem with people who
Recommend a
used
different type of
leverage.
tree if we don't want to go that route.
Well, if you haven't had bark damage, I don't know that something with tougher bark like the swamp white oak is any more resistant to the kind of damage that you're concerned about.
Yeah, it seems like I've looked at a few of the trees down there, and they just snap the branches off. Somebody grabs a hold of them or whatever, and it's really been a challenge to, like you say, get the canopy high enough so that they just aren't grabbing those.
A
Exactly.
lot of volunteer limbing up,
Right.
Yeah, it is.
lifting.
Sometimes it's volunteer topping.
That's true, we've also had that.
Were you recommending a swamp white oak as an option?
Not necessarily,
Okay.
if you have not been having problems with bark damage with the red oaks that are downtown.
Okay.
The lindens seem to be doing pretty well, or have I just
They are.
selectively?
No, they're doing really well. And the swamp white oaks are doing well too. But my concern is I think we planted 6 white oaks last year on Court. So I didn't know how
Oh.
many we
Yeah.
wanted to. want to
We probably don't
diversify.
want
I
any
don't
more of
know of a
those.
whole lot of maples on Court Street right now.
Yeah, that was a good choice then.
The sweet gum. I know there's that one by the...
That's,
The fruit is such a...
Yeah, but there's that really nice one by, it was Perks, what do they call it now? Right there on
The
Court
fis-
Street.
Wits.
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 Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It is nice.
yeah.
I mean, it's growing, it's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's nuts around there too, but it seems like it survived, and I think it's the largest tree that we have on Court Street, right?
On north of Union.
Yeah.
North of Union, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The ideal would be something that could grow really fast with a tough bark.
I missed the tree that you were
Yeah,
talking
what
about.
species?
Oh, sweet gum.
Sweet gum.
Sweet gum.
So, I mean, we've got some by the
Yeah,
church down here,
those
so...
are tough trees, but on the other hand, people really object to them because of the fruit. But maybe wouldn't be as much of an objection downtown as in some of the residential neighborhoods.
Well, they sweep pretty regularly on Court Street in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
so.
And they have this reputation for damaging sidewalks, but as we learned at a tree care conference, it's really more the sidewalks when they come to their end of their lifespan that they start shifting around, whether you've got a tree there or not. But everybody looks at the sweet gum and say, well, why did they plant the sweet gum? Because everybody knows, how terrible they are. So.
Well, okay, you have many options then.
Right.
Thank you.
He's going to do something, so that
Good.
either this fall or spring, depending upon the availability of the tree.
Yeah, thank you, John,
Well-
for the intervention.
The fall is the more desirable time in terms of the tree survival.
Well, all right, and he is now informed.
Yeah, well, I'll check with him tomorrow and find out what's going on.
Okay. Are there any other items? Yeah, we're down at other.
I just have, we're
Jared.
down at other.
Yeah.
Just a comment about, I noticed on South May that the canopy is fairly close to the ground. I know walking through there, branches and other things are hitting my head. So is that something that that the homeowner maintains the canopy, or is that something that the city does?
The city will maintain 13 and a half feet above the street,
Okay,
and if we can, we'll try to lift 8 foot above sidewalk.
okay. I think South May needs to be looked
Okay.
at. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be on the west side. I think the,
And we typically do that work in the winter and early spring.
okay.
So I'll make a note of that, and we'll get a work order for that area. Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, everything else seems pretty good, at least they kind of take different paths and ways. And It's pretty
Yeah.
decent, but that one, things are really starting to grow.
Right, and brush you on the head. Yeah.
There's another area where there's a lot of overhang that I noticed on my walk to East Elementary School this morning along State Street. I think close to the church. I'm not sure what church that is, First Baptist or something,
Okay.
on down from ODNR.
Okay. Both sides?
No, just on the north side.
North side? Okay.
Well, I think we have that. I have one other thing, just because I've gotten asked this question since I'm on the tree commission by several people in the last couple of days about leaf pickup. It's available on the city's website, but general information, it starts on October 15th. And the city is divided into 3 areas, and you can get the map on the website, or you can call Engineering and Public Works in the city. But it starts on the 15th to the 18th for one area, which is mostly the Near East Side and up to Columbia, and then the second area, the 21st to 25th of October, and then on to third area, 28th to November 1st, and then the city comes back and does another sweeping in another cycle in the very same order. So if you need that information, it's on the city's website, and it's available by phone at the Engineering and Public Works office.
And we also do a final sweep of the entire city.
Okay.
So we do the 6-week leaf pickup program, and then once we're done with all the areas that you mentioned, we come back and just do general sweeping throughout the city.
Oh,
That's the first or second week of December.
okay, very good. So if there are no other issues and others, then this meeting is adjourned.
The minutes.
The minute.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm loath to do the minutes, okay. Has everybody got a copy of the minutes?
And so the only correction that I see is the Arbor Day has it at the 11th, and we're actually going to celebrate it on the 18th.